Welcome to Fabulously Flawed, where the perfectly imperfect come to shine. Marni, along with her sensational sidekick Taylor, are the mother-daughter duo that puts the fun in dysfunction. Every episode, we unpack the chaos of mental health while sprinkling in the sass of pop culture. We're here to share stories, laughs, and lessons that remind you to embrace your quirks and to never, ever let anyone dull your sparkle. So join us as we celebrate the beauty of being fabulously flawed. Let's get real, let's get raw, and let's get ready to add a little extra shimmer to your day.
Hey, fabulously flawed friends. Thank you so much for joining us today. I am your host, Marni, and joining me is my delicious, spectacular sidekick, my daughter, Taylor. Welcome, Taylor.
Hey guys, I am so happy to be here yet again.
We had a little bit of a hiatus, I guess.
Yeah, so I came down with a really bad eye infection last week and it kind of took me out, but brighter days are finally ahead, so we're back.
If you're listening, it was not pink eye. You don't have to say, was I around Taylor? Do I have to wash my face, my sheets? No.
The fancy name is preseptal cellulitis, so I was dealing with that, but
It looked like I punched you.
Yeah.
And you had, it's like I won the knockout. Like I won the round.
It was rough. I had a very big, swollen, bruised eye, but we're on the mend.
Yeah.
Kind of painful, more like extremely excruciating at times, but...
So everybody, thank you for joining us. This episode is called Self-Love Club because everything starts with how we love ourselves. When you love yourself, you instinctively treat other people or your energy in the world. When you don't love yourself, you have like this dark cloud around you.
Right, absolutely.
And people don't even realize, why am I so bitchy? Why am I so angry? And once you really peel the layers off, it's like, I'm not loving myself. I'm not using my boundaries. I'm not implementing everything to protect my peace bubble.
Which is so important. Yeah.
You understand? And self-love isn't just necessarily, let me go take a bubble bath. It means if you don't want to go somewhere and you really do not want to be around a crowd right now, and you say, you know what, I can't make it tonight because you really don't want to. Normally people go, I have to go. By taking your power back and doing what's good for you, right there is a form of self-love.
A major form of self-love, setting boundaries and doing what truly makes you happy and kind of, being selfish, and not in the sense that like, oh, I'm going to go and, do things that hurt others, but just that really
doing what's good for you.
Right, exactly. It's as simple as that. Just doing what's good for you. So
this is a really weird scenario because it's kind of new to me. I protect my peace. Now, it's okay if anyone is in a bad mood. We're all entitled. We're not supposed to be happy all the time.
Of course.
That's crazy. But if someone's in a bad mood, I remove myself because energy, it's infectious. It's contagious. And some people have such a dark cloud around them at that moment. I don't want to be around it. So somebody recently said, where'd you go? And I said, I left the room. You were all like, not yourself and cranky and wah. Well, I'm sorry. I'm supposed to be cranky. I go, no, you can be cranky, but I just removed myself.
Right.
I'm never telling anybody, even with you and I, if I'm in a cranky mood and you're like, what's wrong? And you walk away. I'm like, where'd you go? You were right to say, Mom, I didn't want to be around you right now. You're just not yourself.
Right. It's protecting that. Your peace bubble, your own peace bubble. It's not like shaming anyone for feeling upset.
Yeah, I'm sorry, because I have been in my Law and Order trance, we could say.
Yeah.
So sometimes when you talk to me, when I'm in my toom mode, I look at you, I'm like, what? And you're like, chill, sister.
And then I know it's maybe my cue to leave the room because I don't want to get myself frustrated for, whatever reason. So
take it personally, and you cannot take it personally. If someone in your house is cranky, let them be cranky, but you don't have to be around it because then you become instinctively cranky. Like, why are they talking like this? What's wrong with you?
Right, exactly. And that's where it leads back to remove yourself.
Exactly.
Without, saying to that person, you shouldn't feel this way. No. Just simply say, you know what? My vibe is off right now.
Yes,
let me. I'll see you in 10 minutes type of thing.
Exactly. I don't want anybody to burst my vibe. And again, I'm not telling anyone, don't be angry, don't be miserable.
No, of course, we're human. We should be feeling
but just
these
remove
emotions.
yourself. Remove yourself from that. And I have to talk about my girl, Hoda. I love her so much. Hoda, I know we are going to be doing a podcast together sooner than later. But this morning, they were talking about the Golden Bachelor and how people date when they're older and blah, blah, blah. And she said, if I'm going out with someone, she said recently, pretty sure she said recently, somebody wanted to go out later, and she goes, I'm tired. I got a plate full. I got my kids. I'm tired. And normally she said she would have gone along with it. Wrong answer. Hoda, you go, girl, because she said, I'm tired, and went home.
Yeah, she
and
did.
She felt self-love. She felt so much happier snuggled up in her little comfy bed with her little girls than having to go see an opera or whatever.
Right, of course. Yeah. I think that it is so important when it comes to dating to have those boundaries for yourself, no matter how old you are. I'm 24 or whether you're 54. I mean, it's the same thing. Yeah. So I just think that, Hoda, going on national TV and saying that could help so many women. So really glad she did that.
Right. And self-love, like I was saying, it's not pampering. I mean, yes, if you want to take an extra 20 minutes to take a walk in the morning, I tell women, put some of your products like in the refrigerator, the under eye masks. For those few seconds, you have like a little bit of a luxurious feel. So
the self-care.
But self-care is not self-love. There's two different things.
A form of it.
Yes.
It's a form of it.
Yes,
but
it is.
overall, self-love goes so much deeper than giving yourself, like you said, a bubble bath and a facial. I mean, it really, truly, it goes to your soul and your core and who you are. And I think that it's just so important to just, when you catch yourself kind of feeling these feelings where it's not full of love for yourself, bring yourself back to the moment where I am so fucking amazing that...
Now, see, I have to go now to the Grammys because you just made me, for some reason, think of Jay-Z. I'm not sure exactly what.
Something I said.
Was self-love. Because you know what, Jay? I love you. I do. You and Queen Bee, you're royalty.
Right. Greatest of all times in their field, yeah.
But if you were really happy, did you have to say that in your acceptance
right.
speech?
This
Come
whole
on.
Jay-Z speech, drama... Beyonce is so
perfect.
Everyone respects her and idolizes her.
She's
just
queen.
don't. Right.
She's queen.
It just wasn't the time and the place to go and kind of say what he said.
And we all knew the meaning, what he was trying to say. We can all know,
of course,
what he was insinuating.
Of course.
But now I'm not going to waste much time on Jay-Z. We just know that was kind of obnoxious.
Which means I don't think Jay-Z was feeling all the self-love in that moment because hurt people hurt. And it's not like he was necessarily like bullying somebody.
He intentionally didn't say, I'm going to go and hurt anybody.
Right, but I just think that he obviously wasn't feeling all of those
warm and fuzzies
for him to go out and kind of say what he said.
Will Smith, I'm so glad his trigger popped. I don't mean that seriously. I'm joking. With Chris Rock.
Yeah.
Like his pressure cooker popped at that moment. So we know Will Smith was not taking care of his self-love because he chose a moment where now I'm gonna use all this energy pent up in me and I'm gonna take it out on Chris Rock. He just said something to Jada. It really did not warrant a punch.
Of course, violence is never the answer.
He chose to channel all that energy and take it out, and backfired. And I mean, I hate saying this word, but kind of got canceled, but not canceled.
Oh no, he definitely went through a little bit of a rough moment in the press and the media and the public.
I'm not talking about Jada and Will in any other way because I want to be on their Red Table Talk. So I love that they started this conversation.
I think it it brought awareness to. Obviously something prompted it wasn't the joke that made Will Smith get up on national TV on
so
a
many
huge
underlying
publicized
issues.
Event, right? Oosh. And punch someone. It goes so much deeper than that.
I have taught you. It is the pause before the reaction that is a maker or a breaker.
Oh, for sure. It's not what you say, it's how you say it.
You've
been implementing that in my brain since I could talk.
But sometimes I don't practice what I preach and I have to be reminded from you. Thank you.
We're human. You're not supposed to be perfect.
The best thing about making mistakes though is to say, okay, I fucked up. Now I'm aware of it. So if you keep doing it, then it's intentional. But we're supposed to make mistakes. We're supposed to F up. We're human beings. In fact, I love making mistakes because now I know, okay, do it this way.
Well, of course, people make mistakes and learn from them. I mean, that's been, a huge part of
growth.
Yeah. And just the universal language of life as people learn from their mistakes. It's not necessarily such a terrible thing to make a mistake.
Can I just give a thanks and a shout out to all of your friends, literally international. We have people in London, Australia, America. We have gone international.
And more places coming soon.
Thank you.
But right now we are across the pond
Whenever
in several
you tell
different
me,
continents.
Right? When you tell me so-and-so listened, it's like, oh my gosh, that is so sweet.
I know. we want to say we are so genuinely, unbelievably grateful and blessed that we have such a community already, and we're only on we've only had 3 episodes out, and the feedback and the support has just been overwhelming, and we're so gracious.
Side
Grateful.
note, every Tuesday and Thursday there will be episodes. Here's a mistake I made. I wanted to batch record, which means have a bunch of episodes done. I was not in the mood to. I kept putting it off and procrastinating. So when you got sick, I was not able to put up episodes. No fault of others but mine. So what did I learn? Ding, ding, ding. Let's batch record one day. So now we will always have episodes coming to you. So
yes,
this
every
is the
Tuesday and Thursday.
Yep,
Yes.
This is the 4th of 4,000. So much content. The fact that I am so effed up. And every time I see that little girl, maybe 4 or 5 years old, dressed as Taylor Swift in Cruel Summer Bridge, the little blonde hair.
Her lover outfit.
Her lover outfit,
yeah.
thank you. I cringe because I'm about to do that to you, but you're 24. You're not five.
I know you want to dress me up as Taylor Swift so bad. And
So bad.
I know.
And I did my first, finally, I guess, TikTok video yesterday about I'm a Swiftie over 50, because I am a Swiftie over 50.
It was
I love her.
the of course trend challenge, whatever you want to call it. Like, of course some of this, da 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 da. So she did that with, of course I'm a Swiftie over 50, and then kind of talked
So
about her
funny.
own life struggles while being
Like,
cute.
I owned, it's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. Of course it was me. I went a lifetime unhealed. I feel, you don't understand, Tay. I look back. We were watching the videos the other day of when you were a year. Most people have Barney on. Barney is the dinosaur, singing happily. I cannot believe that I was playing you J-Lo. Love don't cost a thing while you were eating your noodles
It
in the
was
background.
hysterical, you guys. Every, it was like a whole VCR tape of, tape after tape after tape. And every single tape, it was me and my mom forcing me to dance to either NSYNC or J-Lo. And it was, it truly was literally like we'd see
It was an
January
obsession.
15th, 2000, January 20th,
No,
2000,
Tay.
and the same thing over and over.
Back up. January 15th, 10 o'clock. January 15th, 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
January 15th, 6 o'clock.
You're
After your
right.
bath. You want to dance?
You're
Do you
right.
wanna dance?
It wasn't every day. It was multiple times
day.
every single day.
Oh,
yeah.
Britney Spears had just come out. There was no way I wasn't raising a little Britney.
Yeah.
And I would put you in front of the TV and you would bounce to Bye, 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 which I can't wait to put together. When you became a teenager, when you were in Hip Hop Kids performing, you did the most badass routine to NSYNC and Bye, Bye, Bye. So
Full circle moment, yeah.
Full circle. I manifested that, kind of. I don't know. Did we? A little bit.
Oh, for sure. I believe in the power of manifestation is so real. So I think everything you kind of did in your younger life, and it kind of appears in your older life, and you're like, maybe I did.
Oh, let me tell you
something
something.
like that.
Most people get so frustrated, like, because we're going to talk next episode about college acceptances, and I know they're coming out, Gainesville, Seminoles, everywhere, and people are going to get really upset that they're not going to the school that they think they need to go to. We're going to share your story, and where you are is where you're supposed to be.
Oh, for sure. Oh, I can't wait to share my story next week. It will
It's so good.
hopefully help a lot of people who kind of struggled with the same thing that I did for a second.
But people need to really just trust the process. So much has happened to me. How could I ever say, that's why if Oprah said to me right now, I'm flying a plane in for you and we're going to go to my private island for a picnic and I'm all packed and ready and right now, and then she calls back and says, I'm sorry, I can't make it. I'd be like, okay, it wasn't meant to be. I live my life. I swear
But it
by
took
that.
you a while to get there. And I
Studio
want to say
54.
that it is easier said than done.
I'm Studio 54 years old almost. So I throw that in anytime I can. So, it's taken me my whole life to understand this concept.
And I'm definitely still in the learning stages of that. When something doesn't go the way you planned, to not be disappointed, just redirected and say, okay, this wasn't the path for me. Let me switch gears. And I kind of want to go back to our music thing, and we need to talk about Taylor Swift.
Oh my
right.
gosh.
I've been like on the edge of my seat this whole episode being like, okay, we need to talk about Taylor Swift. Hello,
No.
April 19th. I think it's 73 days away now at this point.
No, I
Screamed.
can't. First of all, I am not just saying I'm a 50 over Swiftie to do a TikTok.
I'm a Swiftie over 50.
I'm a Swiftie over 50. Thank you. I am so obsessed with this girl. First of all, the Taylor Swift you grew up listening to, I can't believe this is the same Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why she's such an iconic,
I can't.
legendary superstar.
Watching this fairy tale. Like, look, she didn't say, okay, I have to meet a guy who's a football player. He has to go to the Super Bowl and blah, 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 blah. She's doing her thing. Kansas City. Who else saw that show in Kansas City? Oh my God, Travis was there, Tay.
Yeah, so I actually, back in July, before Taylor and Travis were ever a thing, I flew from South Florida to Kansas City, Missouri, and I saw Taylor at Arrowhead Stadium. So I feel kind of special and
You were
cool
there.
for that, because I honestly am not sure if Travis went night 1 or night 2. I went night 2, so I'm not sure if he was there at the same
How
time
do we
as
not
me.
know that?
I know, right? I should have known. I think he was there night 1. I'm not going to lie.
Probably night 1.
Whatever it was, I was, the same. I was there, which was really, really cool.
So she's just living her
Life-changing.
life. Oh, so she's living her life. She's on stage, Shake It Off. Karma is my boyfriend, doing whatever she wants. And he just happens to be there. He forgot to give her the friendship bracelet.
Oh, no. He didn't forget. He wanted to, but she doesn't do meet and greets. She doesn't meet fans or anything like that. So he never got the opportunity to, but he was super public about his desire.
Oh, gotcha.
And she probably found that super sexy. Like, this guy's publicly pursuing me.
Because she's not on the bleachers.
Yeah.
He's on the football field.
Yeah.
So we are watching this love story unfold. You could not have scripted it better to be sold out, biggest pop star, influencer person in the world, Super Bowl, football player, gorgeous, love stories, their families meshing. She did not. She probably manifested and wanted the perfect boyfriend, but who knew he was going to be going to the Super Bowl? Who knew? Like, believe me, he would have been going to Tokyo under other circumstances.
Yeah, no, she definitely, and I've said this to you a few days ago, that in one of her songs, she mentions an arrowhead,
She manifested.
which Travis obviously plays at Arrowhead Stadium. And then you found that video of her from 2007 saying,
She goes, I just want to go to Kansas one day.
I just want to go to Kansas. I don't know. It's just weird. So she kind of, in her own Taylor Swift, very powerful way, manifested Travis, and I am just so happy for her that.
And there was one more thing she manifested. It was
I remember, I'm forgetting off the top of my head
because
now.
she's so mind-blowing, we kind of forget life exists when we talk about her.
Yes, no, literally. I'm like, I want to talk about her and Travis, but I want to also talk about the Tortured Poets Department, the new album that she announced, which has been on my mind for the last 2 days now. But she just consumes a lot of my thoughts.
She's inspired me because I'm like, if she can go up there and do her thing when, the whole world's sitting there yapping away about her negatively. She's like, screw you people. And she's up there shaking off. So I'm like, if she could talk about her life, knowing who talks about her, nobody's talking about me. So she just inspires me to be vulnerable, to be open, to talk about all of our own inner demons. She is so magical.
No, she is. And for someone of her magnitude of the power that she has and whatever, and for her to in her Time Magazine Person of the Year interview, how she said, I don't care if I piss off a couple Brads and Chads,
Yep.
That girl loves herself, going back to now our self-love thing, loves herself so much. And I know it was a journey for her because she's talked about it and she writes it in her music, but that she must love herself so much that she's just so secure in herself, and she's just such. I mean, you hear all the time that Taylor Swift is such an inspiration, but if you really look at it,
you know
she
what?
really is.
She doesn't let the outside noise of what people say about her because it's jealousy. I mean, it's just pure jealousy.
Of course.
Clearly.
I mean,
wait, can we just talk about when he was rubbing her back? Did you see that video when
she was on the field?
When she was on the field,
of course
he was rubbing it like this. I'm just kind of like,
yeah, you guys can't see, but she's demonstrating for me.
I'm kind of just rubbing. It's just, and she's so cozy in her arms. Remember when Carrie was with Aiden and she got in his little nook when she snuggled up to him? And she does the same thing with Travis.
And people have said, I don't know if you know too much about her past boyfriends, but Taylor, she's a tall woman, and every guy she's been with, no one has been 6'5" at all or near that height. And everyone's like, Taylor's such a tiny little girl next to Travis.
She's so wafy, right?
Right. She could be in that little nook of his because I don't know, he's just this big hunk of hotness.
And I always say, when you go out with a guy, girls, you're listening, how they treat their mothers most of the time is how they will treat you. If they're respectful to their moms, you got a good guy. If they're like, oh, my mother's a whatever, red flag, waving it around.
Right.
Do you know what I notice I do a lot? Whenever it's the wrong answer, I always go,
You always do the sound effect.
Sound effect.
Since we kind of brought up the dating thing really quick, that or you're out with a guy and he doesn't love his mother, I just want to help
let me finish my story real quick because I was
okay.
going somewhere with that.
Okay, sorry.
When you watch Travis and Jason Kelce tear up talking about their mom, how they love her so much that they were doing their podcast and they got choked up and Travis had to take a second. He was getting so emo talking about his mom. So with all of his other brownie points, a whole football field times a billion of brownie points, his love for his mom. I'm sorry.
No, I know that is such a green flag when a guy is like super has such a wonderful close relationship.
Okay, now we can go back. I'm sorry.
No, but yeah, no, that is definitely equally as important. But no, this is going back to the self-love topic of today's episode. So I'm dating. I'm in my mid-20s. I'm 24 and it's tough out there. But
can I just give one bit of advice? When you could be funny, be pals with someone, be as goofy like Melissa McCarthy and her husband, that's your goal. It is not to find the most perfect looking, the most successful. It's who you laugh your ass with and who becomes your best friend.
Well, yeah.
Like Brianna.
No, of course. I know that. But I'm just saying, of course, the end goal is to find that person.
But
that
I never want you to settle and say, okay, they don't do this, but maybe they'll do that. If that red flag's there, Tay, next.
No, I know. No, for sure. I was just saying that I went on a first date and I thought that it went so well. And then his vibe changed the day after the date. And I was upset for like 2 days. And I really let this guy that I went on one date with dictate my emotions. And I'm good now. I'm definitely good. And I have, my amazing mother who tells me these things and these friends who help me. But I just wanted to say, like, for you girls that are dating, if you go on a date and it seems really well, but like you don't get the response that you're expecting from the guy the next day or the following day or whatever, or the day after that, don't sit. I know it's so much easier said than done, but really try not to sit and dwell. It's change your mindset to, wasn't for me. On to the next.
Exactly. If you think of your life as a Thanksgiving dinner, your plate, right? You don't have any room for pie. You have a plate full of turkey, stuffing, mashed potatoes, marshmallows, green beans, whatever it is. You need a separate plate for the pie. So your plate's full. If you want dessert, have dessert. But the dessert does not make or break your main dish.
Right. And that's what I'm still learning the self-love journey.
You're preaching to the choir. When I was with Daddy when you were a baby, and our unconventional way of getting together back years ago, we had beepers. And not texting, but you would like beep a number. And that was the code Daddy and I had years ago. But if he didn't beat me, I wouldn't get out of bed. I was addicted to him like I was a drug. He was my alcohol.
Yeah.
It was so obsessive. Now I realize it was every abandonment issue, every trigger. I didn't know that. That's why awareness and why you're talking about you recognize this within you.
I did. And I nipped it in the bud quickly. And I was like, no, like I'm Taylor fucking Goldman. I'm literally
please. First of all, dudes are more insecure than girls.
No, I know that. And I'm telling you, like, I literally learn each and every day, like, about guys and whatever and how to handle myself. But I'm totally so fine and happy now. But yes, the guy is the pie. He is,
of course,
or
he's
the guy
dessert.
he's the whipped cream on top of the pie.
Yes, the whipped cream on the pie.
He's just like that last touch.
If you want it, great, but you're gonna eat your Thanksgiving dinner with or without the pie, right? So it's just, first of all, we're not, we're very overwhelmed.
You're right. Sorry. I love that. You're going to eat the Thanksgiving dinner with or without the pie.
So you got to have your dinner, right?
So if people aren't picking it up, our lives, young ladies and guys too, we are the Thanksgiving dinner. And those significant others are the pie.
I was doing a motivational speaking a few weeks ago, and I was telling girls, if you think giving it up is going to make a dude like you, just keep on going. And I used this analogy. I said, when guys go hunting, which I don't like hunting, but there are people who go duck hunting. Now, if the ducks are right there and you go, pew, pew, that's not fun.
Yeah.
They want to go out and hunt the ducks.
The
so
challenge.
girls, it's the challenge. When guys go fishing, they just don't want all the fishies there. Okay, we're done. They spend hours sitting there waiting to capture it. Just like a girl, a guy, part of their DNA, part of the attraction is trying to get. How many guys have you turned down through the years and they keep going and they keep going?
Yeah.
It's so hard because girls are like, I'm not turning down a guy, because we think, myself included, my identity was, or my justification for being happy was, if this guy liked me. If he didn't like me, I mean, I'm married. I mean, so at a particular time in my life.
Right.
But it's just, no, your personality is not contingent on how another person, if they like you or they do not like you.
And I let that be a defining factor in my life for like 48 hours. And I'm like, hell no, never again. So now when I'm going into this dating world with a whole new mindset, entirely new mindset. And I'm just grateful that I felt what I needed to feel. It lasted a couple days. And now moving forward, I'm happy as a clam.
Some dude told me once, you're not the safe kind of girl. Like, what does that mean? You're not safe. There's so much Marni, like, wish, it's just, I'm not simple. So I am more of a threat. A guy wouldn't really want to go out with me because there's so much Marni. Like, a simple Marni is a very safe girl. I am, for some reason, they didn't think I was safe, but they were trying to say, you're just too fabulous for me.
And I've been putting guys on a pedestal my entire life.
Why?
Up until a week ago,
They're
7
from
days
Mars,
ago.
Tay, we're on Venus.
I know, and I realize, like,
They're
thanks to
smelly
TikTok,
and sweaty.
I know, no, thanks to TikTok and social media and you and whatever, and my friends and what they say, that there's no man that deserves to be on a pedestal. Nope, girl, you are on the pedestal, not the man.
You don't understand.
Need to make that very clear.
You also want to go out with the guy that's not the life of the party, but the one that makes you get home safe from the party.
Oh, yes.
Olivia Benson.
Well, maybe a little bit of both.
Well, you don't want somebody to be a complete dud, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yes, of course. No, absolutely. You want the guy that will make sure you get home from the party safely.
Exactly.
Of course. No, absolutely. I know.
I am just so obsessed with Olivia Benson. Karma is a cat named Olivia Benson, then becomes a karma cat.
I feel like SVU is constantly on your mind because
always.
We've been talking about something so unrelated.
But that's my ADHD. I know.
And you just pop in with this Olivia Benson comment.
I try so hard. Like right now, this podcast with you, not interrupting you, listening to what you're saying, it's been really hard. I mean, this is wonderful practice for me because when I would talk to people, they would say, oh yeah, it's raining. I was like, oh my God, rain here. And then I would start talking about something else. So this is just a wonderful practice for me in life. But yes.
No, it is. I'm so happy that we have the opportunity to sit and talk to not only each other, but
you want to hear just
so many people
talking about, like,
and we love you guys.
Exactly. And the Super Bowl and Travis and everything. I'm going to just throw in Usher, for a second. Usher was just randomly scrolling on YouTube and he saw a little boy, Justin, just singing one day. And he goes, I like that little boy. Come here, let me meet you, little boy. What's your name? My name is Justin. Nice to meet you, Justin. What's your last name? Bieber. Nice to meet you, Mr. Bieber. Justin didn't do anything but be Justin Bieber. Usher found him. Justin Bieber was not like, I have to do everything to get Usher to find me, So I'm just trying to say, live your life. I was trying to incorporate, just live your life and trust the universe. I was using Usher.
Okay, yeah, I was like, where are you going with this? Okay.
I'm backtracking, but there is always, I come back. I know Daddy's listening to this right now, cracking up and shaking his head because my stories have stories that have stories.
Right. I was like, okay, Usher, Justin Bieber. Okay, but yes, you kind of wrapped it up and said, that you just have to, ladies, and like I said, guys too, you have to just live your life, and that person who is meant to be there will be there. I mean, it's as simple as that. Period.
If you think about people in your life and how you met them, think of your favorite person. If you weren't in a specific situation, your favorite person would not be there. So it's like you live life. And of course, you may be frustrated. You could be frustrated. Like, dang, I wanted to go to the 8:00 show and now we can't go. But you have to say, I wasn't supposed to go to the 8:00 show.
Yeah, it's all about shifting your mindset. And I've said a few minutes ago, I've said before, easier said than done. I struggle with that myself on a daily basis, but I have people around me that keep me grounded and keep me going. And I think that it's so important for, not only to keep yourself grounded, but to surround yourself with people who have a similar mindset.
What you were talking about, what just popped in my head with myself, and I'm going to talk about how looking at myself and aging has been just horrific for me and my mindset. Oh, see, now I completely forgot where I was going with this. Oh, when we don't love ourselves, a part of us, like if I didn't feel like I looked as zhuzhy as enough, but this guy paid me attention. Oh, now I feel better. No, you got to fix the part of yourself that doesn't feel zhuzhy, and don't try to find other things to fill that void in you. Just if you're, and don't compare. Like this girl said to me when I spoke to her and her mom, she was like, but my other friends are doing this and this girl's engaged and this one's getting married. I go, but that's not your journey. Your person's not ready for you yet. Your person could still be finishing law school or med school. Like, I'm such a Jewish mother. Oh my God, law school. Find yourself a doctor, okay? So
I say to you too, myself, I'm like, but this girl, she's moving in with him and they're going to get engaged, and you have to kind of remind me, you're like, Tay, seriously,
not your journey.
And my friends say to me too, they're like, Taylor, don't compare yourself to us. You're on your own journey. And you guys out there, like, I know it's so hard. Like, I'm not going to sit here and lie and say that I'm not envious, not jealous, envious of my friends and them talking about the gifts they're giving their boyfriends for Valentine's Day.
And guess what you're giving yourself? Your own gift. Because it's your self-love.
The gift of love, for sure. But
I know.
Sort of lost my train of thought for a second. It's okay. I think the message I was just trying to put out there is that we're all on our own journey and our own path, and comparing people will just make you go crazy. So don't do that.
Stay in your lane. You don't know what goes on with their other things. Just because someone has a new bougie purse doesn't mean that your life sucks. And people,
of course not.
Because we don't get time back. I'm talking about myself and my identity. I wish I could go back to my 30s and 40s, just all my nitpicking and stuff. And now I've lost time, and it's just, we're going to go back there. But we have to talk about our store before we end this. Fabulously Flawed on Etsy.
2Ds, Fabulously Flawed with 2Ds on Etsy.
No, guys, you don't understand. Our products are friggin' beyond. I don't care if you are 10 years old, 20 years old, 80 years old, 50 years old, 60 years old. Across the board.
No, yeah, there's genuinely something for every gender, every age, something you'll love for a friend, yourself, a spouse,
we
a
have
family member.
Mugs, we have hoodies, we have housewares, we have t-shirts, we have baby stuff, pet clothes.
Literally everything across the board.
If you're a Swifty dad, the fun uncle, the niche in the cans of your life.
The gunkle, the gay uncle, my personal favorite. And you can also just Fabulously Flawed with 2ds.net will take you right to our store. No, fabulouslyflawed.net is our store.
Bad. Okay, my bad. Oops.
It's okay.
Brianna's sitting here right next to us, like giving me the thumbs up. Like,
yes,
nope, you're
Fabulously Flawed with 2ds.net will take you right to our store.
Brianna's our Guillermo. She's giving me the Taylor Swift heart. I love it. So we're going to leave it on this. And I just want all of you guys listening and girls, never, ever let anyone burst your bubble. Never let anyone dull your sparkle.
And it's going to take time. You're not just going to stop listening to this episode and your whole life is going to change, but just take what we say and just
baby steps.
Put it in your brain.
One thing. One thing.
And
look at yourself. How about this? Everybody just look at yourself in the mirror and just say one good thing that you love about yourself. We'll leave it on that. Yeah. Guys have homework.
Yeah. Exactly. We love you guys. We are so grateful for you guys, and we can't wait for you to hear the next episode.
We are sending so much love and peace. Until next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Fabulously Flawed. Remember, we drop new episodes every Tuesday and Thursday, so be sure to subscribe and never miss a moment of this dazzling duo. Craving more sparkle? Head over to fabulouslyflawed.com for exclusive content, episode archives, and more. And don't forget to check out Fabulously Flawed on Etsy for tons of amazing products that are sure to brighten your day. Be sure to follow us on socials to keep the conversation going and become a part of our Fabulously Flawed family. Until then, keep embracing your beautiful imperfections and remember, never let anyone dull your sparkle.